Welcome back to K-Ratio's Q&A, our interactive solution to problems submitted directly from you, the viewer. I'm Kyle Littner, and I'm here today to provide an immediate fix to the number one question we received this past week. Now, this question came from all participant types and almost everyone. Is this the bottom? And if so, what can I do to make it better? Well, the first part of that question is by far the hardest to answer, but we'll try our best. Now, everybody always wants to know what the bottom is, and I don't care if you're talking about stocks, currency pairs, or retro Jordans on eBay. Everyone wants to know if price is going to go any lower. Now, the easiest way to find out what something is worth is to buy it and then turn around and try and sell it. We don't quite have that luxury with freight, but what we can do is take where we currently sit and draw some conclusions about where we could go, even if we don't know exactly what the future holds. First, as a recap, here's where the market sits. National volumes are typical of what we'd see during a holiday. Using the March 1st, 2018 indexed value of 10,000 as an average benchmark, we are currently witnessing 13% less volume than an average day, roughly what we saw on Christmas Eve. This is consistent with the fact that many industries in the country have idled production and consumer participation in others has evaporated. The only freight moving these days is essential goods. Markets do not operate in a vacuum, and as demand eroded, many carriers idled a portion of their trucks, thereby lowering the supply of capacity. Now, that available capacity does not decrease linearly with volumes, however, which has led to significant downward pressure on rates. The national long-haul rate is off 22 cents from its high on March 25th, but has settled back into prices seen before the volume surge. It sounds weird to say, but this is a positive sign that rates simply reverted back to the prices seen before the surge. All in all, carriers have done a good job of matching truck capacity to the necessary demand. If they had not, prices would be even lower. One more aspect that reinforces the idea of a bottom in rates is the current national rate for all loads. Despite dropping 12 cents since last month and currently sitting at a heartburn-inducing rate of just $1.74, this again is a positive sign. We can take the American Transportation Research Institute's last number on operational truck costs of $1.82 a mile and adjust the fuel component to reflect today's lower expense. We end up with a number of $1.61 a mile. With a spread between the average total expense to run the truck and the average total revenue received at only 13 cents per mile, we might not be at the absolute bottom in price, but we're pretty darn close. Any lowering carriers will make the difficult decision to idle their trucks, or worse, shutter their doors. That's the good news portion of this video. Prices are likely near the bottom, if not at them already. Volumes, however, aren't necessarily so, and might even head lower. The overwhelming majority of freight moving right now is food and cleaning supplies, and that's not going to change nor disappear. The little amount that isn't not essential, clothing, electronics, etc., that can and will disappear the longer that stay-at-home orders persist. The hard truth about stimulus checks, the Paycheck Protection Program, and unemployment insurance is that it simply isn't enough. Those funds will be used to put food on the table and keep the lights on, not buy an iPhone or a new pair of jeans. Until Americans resume their normal lives, you can forget about the U.S. consumer, and unfortunately, consumer spending represents 68% of our economy. Given that 16 million Americans filed for unemployment in the last 3 weeks, and the unemployment rate widely forecast to hit at least 20%, there's simply not enough disposable income around to warrant any level of demand for consumer goods. Rates may have found a bottom, but finding a load to run at these low rates is going to get harder, as the drop in volumes might have eased, but it isn't necessarily over. Which gets us to our second part of the question. What can I do to get through this? Well, if you're a broker, stop wasting your time on spot business. There's just not enough of it, there's too much competition on the quotes to the customer, and the margins aren't there to justify the opportunity cost. You should spend your resources, both in manpower and time, focused on getting proper carriers for your dedicated business, which thankfully comes at higher rates. If you're a carrier, similar type of approach. Work with trusted brokers to get some of that dedicated business. Keeps the wheels moving more predictably and possibly even at higher rates. For all of you, it's the same type of idea. You want greater efficiency and optimization with your business. The most important thing you can do right now is try and maintain your expenses. Keep your overhead lower. That's going to allow you to keep the lights on longer. And remember, all you want to do is get through this time right now, because if you come out on the other end, you will reap the rewards. Again, a big thank you to everyone who submitted questions this week. And if you keep them coming, we promise to keep answering them. So leave them in the comments below, send them to info@k-ratio.com, or message me directly. And for more information on how best to use some of these ideas and strategies inside of our award-winning freight intelligence platform, check us out at k-ratio.com. Please stay safe, please keep the questions coming, and thank you again for watching.